Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Shoge World. Welcome to Shoge World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at this week's new game releases, gaming announcements, and a few news stories. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Alright gamers, as always, we're going to start off with this week's new game releases. And the first game we're going to look at is Overwatch 2. It is definitely the biggest game released this week. The free-to-play, team-based first-person shooter builds on the popularity of the first game and makes some changes to upgrade the gameplay, like going from teams of 6 down to teams of 5. The game is available on all consoles, although I would only choose the Switch version if it's a last resort. Now, we did play the game here on the channel. I will link that video at the end of this one. Next up, Nier Automata released on the Switch this week. If you have not played this game, you definitely should. At its core, Square Enix delivered a really fun, fast-paced, combo-heavy action RPG, but there is actually some fun gameplay variety, with some space shooter style levels also. The game definitely comes highly recommended by Shoge World Gaming. I absolutely love this game, and you should definitely check it out. Now next up, Dakar Desert Rally, the off-road racing game based on the real-world race of the same name, released this week on PlayStation systems, PC, as well as Xbox systems. This is being called the biggest off-road rally adventure racing game of all time. If you're a fan of racing games, I definitely suggest giving this game a shot. Despo's game had its official full release this week on PC, PlayStation systems, the Nintendo Switch, and Xbox systems, including on Game Pass. It's listed as a roguelike tactics army battler. The game sounds interesting, with some strategy elements as you build your team to attempt to survive the dungeons. You actually take a bunch of humans and you equip them with different weapons to try and survive. It looks pretty cool. I may give this game a shot when I get a chance. The last game we're going to look at is Josh Journey, Darkness Totem. It was released this week. The game is a co-op, hand-drawn beat-em-up. It is available on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation systems, Xbox systems, as well as on PC. The game supports 4-player couch co-op with bright, colorful visuals and an odd fantasy-based cast of characters. Alright gamers, next up, let's take a look at some new gaming announcements. And we'll start with a remake of the first Horizon game, Horizon Zero Dawn, has been leaked and seemingly corroborated by multiple sources for the PS5, which honestly makes no sense to me. Now, first off, this game is awesome, but it was released on the PS4, and they have already released upgrade patches for the PS5. So I don't really feel there is a need for this. But if this is a ways off, maybe by the time it actually is released, it may make more sense. So I guess we will have to wait and see what happens with this story. Next up, Tiny Troopers Global Ops, a fast run-and-gun, 3-quarter co-op shooter was revealed this week for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch. The game will be cross-platform with some really fun-looking cartoony, twin-stick, arcade-style online gaming. I'm actually kind of excited for this game. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this as we get more information, so stay tuned for that. Also, CD Projekt Red has announced multiple projects already in the works, including 3 separate games taking place in the Witcher universe, and a sequel is in the works for Cyberpunk 2077. No dates or not even time frames have been stated at this time, so I wouldn't expect to see any of these projects anytime soon. I really hope if they do this sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, we finally get the game that we were hoping to get with the first one, because there is some promise there. They just really failed on the delivery. Also, My Fantastic Ranch was announced for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation systems, PC, and Xbox systems for a November release this year. The game is an indie sim-style game where you basically run a ranch, but the thing that sets this apart from other farming and ranching sim games is the fantasy beasts in the game, with creatures like dragons and unicorns. Also, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot did get its next-gen release announcement and a date for November 13th of this year. Both the Xbox Series systems and PlayStation 5 will receive this upgraded version of the original game. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball and have not played this, you definitely should check this game out. It's a lot of fun. It does get a little monotonous as you go through the game at certain parts, but if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you'll have a lot of fun with this. Alright gamers, let's finish up with a few news stories from this week in gaming, and we'll start with Embracer Group and Crystal Dynamics. They have a survey up asking fans a bunch of questions pertaining to interest in Legacy of Kain. I implore you to all go check this out and give your thoughts. This is definitely an attempt to gauge interest in bringing the series back. One of my all-time favorite hidden gem games is the original Blood Omen Legacy of Kain game, which was released early in the PlayStation 1's life. And it really flew under the radar. I would love to see a remake of this game, so definitely go fill out that survey. Earlier, we discussed the Horizon Zero Dawn remake project. Sony also seems to have had a whole list of projects leaks, that being just one of them. The list is reportedly older, but appears to be real. We will have to wait and see. A lot of code names are used, but some of the things on the list include online multiplayer Horizon project, what appears to be a sequel to Death Stranding 2, a couple of survival horror games without actual titles. They could be Silent Hill games, possibly. A Lucid Star title codenamed Red Star that we all hope is the next Twisted Metal game, among other codenamed projects. Also in PlayStation news, they did release their new program PlayStation Stars, where you can do different missions to earn collectibles to display on your system. So far I think it's a pretty big disappointment, but some of the plans sound like they could be cool. I was hoping for something more like the Microsoft points you can earn that allow you to exchange them for gift cards and stuff, but it does appear this is a work in progress, so we will have to wait and see where it goes. Also, we got our first look at gameplay for the upcoming remake of Dead Space, and wow, it looks really good. I honestly have no recollection of the first game, so I'm pretty excited to get my hands on this. I remember playing one of the older Dead Space games and just hating the zero gravity controls, but I'm really looking forward to giving this a shot when it's released on January 27th of next year. We also had a special Nintendo Direct this week to unveil the first trailer for the upcoming theatrical Super Mario movie with Chris Pratt voicing Mario. So far, I think it looks awesome. I can't wait to see more. I did make a video with my initial thoughts on the voice acting and the art style, so check that out at the link at the end of this video. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on October 7th. The week started with the news of Google's Stadia service officially shutting down in early 2023. Then a ton of PlayStation's upcoming projects seemingly got leaked. Then we got our first look at the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Then the week ended with us having a lot of fun playing Overwatch 2, or I should say trying to play Overwatch 2, and getting our first look at PlayStation Stars. But let me know anything I may have missed in the comments, and thank you for joining us today, gamers. Shoge World, out.